There's a little bit of envy in the best of us. That's too bad, isn't it?
How did you happen to call him Harvey?
Well, Harvey's his name.
How do you know that?
Well, there was a rather interesting coincidence on that, Doctor. One night several years ago, I was walking early in the evening down along Fairfax Street. It was between 18th and 19th. You know the block?
Yes, yes.
I just put Ed Hickey into a taxi. Ed had been mixing his rye with his gin, and I just felt that he needed conveying. Well, anyway, I was walking down along the street, and I heard this voice saying, "Good evening, Mr. Dowd." Well, I turned around, and here was this big 6-foot rabbit leaning up against a lamppost. I thought nothing of that, because when you've lived in a town as long as I've lived in this one, you get used to the fact that everybody knows your name. And naturally, I went over to chat with him. And he said to me, he said, "Ed Hickey was a little spiffed this evening, or could I be mistaken?" Well, of course, he was not mistaken. I think the world and all of Ed, but he was spiffed. Well, we talked like that for a while, and then I said to him, I said, "You have the advantage on me. You know my name, and I don't know yours." And right back at me, he said, "What name do you like?" Well, I didn't even have to think twice about that. Harvey's always been my favorite name. So I said to him, I said, "Harvey." This is the interesting thing about the whole thing. He said, "What a coincidence. My name happens to be Harvey."
Dowd. What was your father's name?
John Stuyvesant.
Tell me, Dowd. When you were a child, didn't you have a playmate? Someone with whom you spent many happy hours?
Yes, I did, Doctor. Didn't you?
Yes. What was his name?
Vern McElhenney. You ever know the McElhenneys, Doctor?
No.
No, that's too bad. There were a lot of them, and they circulated. Very nice people. Just wonderful people.
Think carefully, Dowd. Didn't you know somebody, sometime, someplace by the name of Harvey? Didn't you ever know anybody by that name?
No, not one, Doctor. Maybe that's why I always had such hopes for it.